In one of the more storied rivalries in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers took each other on Thursday Night Football Prime. I don't know. I like Prime, but it's just there's nothing that beats Sunday Night or Monday Night Football. But anyway, kudos to Prime for coming through with that. But anyway, so it was a good matchup overall. I felt like the Steelers were in a position to win it there at the end, but I mean the Browns, they were able to pull it out there. So welcome to today's Standouts and FIZZOUTS. Everybody has their own version of winners and losers, risers and fallers, but we have our own version in Standouts and FIZZOUTS because pop. We think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We think it should replace all water, all of it. Doesn't matter. But, let us know what you guys drink. What is it? Pepsi, Coke, Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Thunder, the great value brand. Don't let anybody fool you. Those brands are still underrated. But today we're talking about Standouts and FIZZOUTS from the first Week 3 matchup of the NFL season here. And I got to say, there was a lot of good things that came out of this matchup. There really was. And I really felt like this was a very good matchup when you talk about two teams that were ready to go at it, that were ready to go in terms of there was a lot on the line for both of them. I think both of them were 1-1 coming into this game, and you were like, okay, how are they going to separate themselves? How are they going to continue to take over the AFC North here? And so we'll start out the standouts here with the Steelers. George Pickens made a heck of a grab there to start out the game. I think he had like 3 catches for 39 yards as well. But I think when you're George Pickens and you can kind of do that for your team as a rookie and just really show your impact, I think he's doing a lot of things for them, really just to start this things off. Another standout for me was Naji Harris. Now, he only had 15 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown, but he really was the heart and soul of that offense for the entire game, and he really showed me a lot. He really did. Larry Ogajobi, definitely another winner, had that sack early. I believe he beat Wyatt Teller in there, even though I thought Wyatt Teller was in pretty good position, but Larry Ogajobi there, he's definitely going to be a guy that he was a steal. He was an absolute steal in my mind. Alex Highsmith had that sack on, I think it was Jedrick Wells, he got the sack on Jedrick Wells and on Jacoby Brissett late in the game there. And, the Steelers' defensive line, I mean, they always get after it. They really do. They always find a way to get to the quarterback. Another standout, Deontay Johnson, 8 catches, 84 yards, no touchdowns. And to a degree, Mitch Trubisky, I would say he's probably our first standout because, he's not a bad quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. And, I think that he had his team in a position to win it there at the end to a degree. Now, if Boswell did not miss that extra point, this might have been a different game here. Definitely because I think the Steelers only need a field goal then to tie it, which, I mean, you're still, if the game goes the exact same way, I think that, I don't even know if it goes the exact same way because then I think that really that made field goal really does help out in terms of game calling there at the end. And I think if Boswell hits that, you don't put Mitch Trubisky in that situation. But it's just, the fact that he had multiple chances there in the fourth quarter, not able to pull it through. I've got my questions about Mitch Trubisky. He's still a good quarterback in this league, but who knows? Maybe he can come out and do something special. But I will say another fizz out, definitely his offensive line. I think James Daniels, I want to say McDaniels for some reason, but their O-line, it was just one of those things where he was constantly running for his life. And I know Trubisky is more of a running quarterback anyways, but he's also really good at staying in the pocket if he's got the time, and that offensive line did not do him any favors against a pass rush that the Browns have. They've got a lot of really good players, and I definitely think that to a degree the Steelers' O-line definitely was a fizz out. Then also the run defense. Now, again, I'm going to extend the olive branch here. I feel like anytime you play the Cleveland Browns, your run defense probably is going to be a fizz out just because of the fact that they have the best running game in football, or arguably the best running game in football. So, Nick Chubb had over 100 yards. Kareem Hunt added about 50 for him. So it was kind of one of those things where, you kind of give him a pass, kind of not really. I don't know. But run defense, it was tough all day long, and it will be for everybody. Also, another fizz out, Terrell Edmonds. You talk about getting beat on the Amari Cooper and David Njoku touchdowns. I felt like maybe he was targeted there, especially early in the game. I felt he's one of those players that usually is pretty good, but it just, I don't know, the Browns were able to kind of pick him apart a little bit. I believe from what I saw, he was responsible for both Cooper's and Njoku's touchdowns. So. Another fizz out I thought was Cameron Sutton. I think that he had that busted coverage there late in the game, and I think that it is what it is. But overall, you got to take a look at your secondary when a guy like Jacoby Brissett can really pick you apart. Cameron Sutton was one of those victims, unfortunately. Another fizz out, Pat Freiermuth. Listen. He was basically MIA until the last drive of the game. Now, I know that there's a lot of things that go into that, but overall, I thought he was going to be a guy that really stepped up this year. And I don't necessarily put it all on Freiermuth. I think that's play calling too. You really got to open up the game and get him the ball, because he is a playmaker. I do think he can be a huge part of the Steelers' offense and do a lot of different things for him, but he needs to be certainly more involved in the play calling. Now, as far as standouts for the Browns, Kevin Stefanski, you come back from an embarrassing loss like that on a short week to the Jets, and I know it's not because the Jets are bad, just because you had a two touchdown lead with under 3 minutes left to go. It was like under 2 minutes. But point is, you come back, you call a game like that. Jacoby Brissett plays a very good and efficient game, and you absolutely love to see it. Actually, we'll finish up here with some of the standouts. So, yes, Alex Highsmith, we said he was already a standouts for the Steelers here. Had a sack and a half. Miles Jack, 12 total tackles, great game for him. Larry Ogajobi, and I don't think I'm missing anybody else. Let me know what you guys think if I'm missing any standouts for the Steelers. Sorry, I had to go back and make sure I got everybody. So, no, I'm sorry. Now, here we go. The Browns. Jacoby Brissett, we talked about a little bit, but, I felt like, Kevin Stefanski had a great game plan. He had a lot of really good things in place. It was a great mixture of run and pass, and that kind of leads to the second standout here, and that's Jacoby Brissett. 21 of 31, 220, and 2 touchdowns. Here's the thing. He was not the reason they won. He wasn't. I mean, the Browns could just run the ball at will and do whatever they wanted, but he was a big reason. He was an absolute big reason. Even if maybe he was the reason. I don't know. Honestly, the reason was because a great play calling, great execution by the whole team. But Jacoby Brissett had himself a very strong game. I'm not going to take anything away from Jacoby Brissett. 21 of 31, like we said, had those 2 touchdowns, and he made key throw after key throw, especially as the game wore on. And it's like, okay, you got the lead. What can you do to kind of salt it away? Really put his team in a position they're getting first downs. Checking it down to Njoku or Amari Cooper, who, by the way, should have cut that pass there at the end, but it is what it is. But I do think that Jacoby Brissett he's a guy that you can win, especially if the Browns play call like this. They can win a lot of games like this. So Jacoby Brissett definitely did his part. Nick Chubb, 23 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Definitely another standout. Also Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb at this point, just give them the ball and let them do their things. Just clearly they are standouts in this one. Did a lot of great things and found a way to get the job done. Another standout, Amari Cooper. As well as David Njoku, 7 catches, 101 yards and a touchdown, and 9 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown, respectively for both. They were really the heart and soul of that receiving game for the Browns, and they got the job done. So, you really can't fault them for that. I felt like, the Browns, especially if they, like I said, if they've got guys like this playing a lot like this, they can win a lot of games. Another standout for me, Jacob Phillips got that sack late in the game on Mitch Trubisky. I felt like that was a bigger play than a lot of people think. Especially when you're getting late in the game, you need to kind of salt away some time, or the defense needs to make a stand, and nice job by Phillips on that play. Also, another standout, Denzel Ward. You get the touchdown at the end there, man. Nice job. That's a gimme touchdown. That's a hey, great game. Here's a present. Here you go. It's Christmas in, what is this, September? Yeah. So great job by Denzel Ward pouncing on that one in the end zone there, but. As far as fizzouts, to a degree, I had to put Wyatt Teller here because he allowed that sack early by Larry Ogajobi, which it is what it is. The rest of this Browns offensive line had a really good game, but it is what it is. You had to throw somebody in there. Then Chris Boswell missed that field goal. Excuse me, that was the Steelers fizz out. I apologize, I put in that wrong spot. Chris Boswell was also a fizz out for the Steelers since we're here. I keep saying it. If you make that field goal, it's only a 3-point game at the end of getting towards late there in the fourth quarter, and that really does change a lot of play calling. And I think that does overall impact what probably would have been the outcome. Another Brown standout there, John Johnson III. He got trucked by Naji Harris on that touchdown. Also missed the tackle on Mitch Trubisky's touchdown. It is what it is. You're able to get a win, but John Johnson III definitely picked on a little bit in those 2 regards. Jedrick Wells did allow that sack on Jacoby Brissett as well. So, and again, it is what it is because the Browns, are a team that they're going to run the football, but the Steelers, they're going to get after the quarterback. So, Like I said, overall, it was a very good game in a lot of regards here. There were a lot of players that really showed themselves to be valuable to both teams. And, that I think they're both of them. There were a lot of standouts and FIZZOUts, which made it kind of a fun game. Like, you were really able to stay in tune with this game. It was a lot of fun. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Standouts and FIZZOUts. Also, let us know what you guys drink for pop. What kind you guys drink? Or soda. Sorry. But let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Standouts and FIZZOUts for the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cleveland Browns matchup.